YouTube, Dominic Arena here, another DGA Live. With me as always, Miss Chris is in the house.
Hey.
Today we're talking Star Wars.
Good subject.
Love me some Star Wars. I don't know why we haven't tackled it yet on this channel. We'll put out a disclaimer right now. If you have not seen The Rise of Skywalker yet, there will be some spoilers. So keep that in mind. I don't want to hear no bitching. There will be spoilers. And so we're not going to be promoting anything. We're not going to be talking about like upcoming shit. We just wanted to have a discussion, try to get you guys involved about one of the best franchises in the fucking world, Star Wars. And it's finally, as far as this saga goes, it's finally come to a close.
Yep.
So I took the liberty just to help you out. I put all the movies in chronological order.
Oh, not release date order.
Right.
Okay.
So, because it's kind of weird how they were released.
Yep.
Anyone that knows Star Wars knows that they started from Episode 4, did 4, 5, 6, went back, did 1, 2, 3, then they did 7, 8, 9 with some in-between films. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So, kicking it off with Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, came out in 1999. This is the film that got the introduction of Qui-Gon Jinn. We had a young Obi-Wan. We had a little kid, Anakin Skywalker, Annie, introduced of Jar Jar Binks, who was a fucking joke.
Yes.
Anyone will agree with me on that?
Everybody hated Jar Jar Binks.
Everybody hated Jar Jar. And then we got the iconic Darth Maul. And a lot of people dog on the prequels. I like them. I like the prequels. I thought they were done very well for their time, especially in 1999, when CGI just started to kind of peak being good. Because if you watch some of the earlier movies, I'm not talking Star Wars, but if you watch some early 90s movies where they were using CGI for like the main character or the main villain or the monster in the movie, it was very glassy, it was very shitty. Star Wars was, at the time, probably the best CGI films out there, besides your Pixar shit. But Darth Maul, let's start before we get into the films. Your favorite all-time out of any of the 9 fucking films, favorite character?
Favorite character? Oh man, because I really like Rey, and I know she's only been in the last 2?
Last 3.
The last 3?
Yeah.
3, really? Okay.
Yeah,
so
she was introduced in The Force Awakens.
I really, really like her, but really, honestly, I gotta go with the epic Princess Leia.
Leia's the bomb. Thebomb.com.
Yeah, she's the original, you know what I mean? Like Rey, she's cool, whatnot, but she's so new, you can't go wrong with Princess Leia.
Yeah, and you see a lot of Leia in Rey. Just not necessarily the looks, but
who she is in the
who
Jedi.
she is.
Yeah.
She did a great job in the film. As you know, I'm a diehard fucking Boba Fett fan. I just like the mysteriousness of it. I wanted to love fucking Kylo, because when they teased him in The Force Awakens, before the film came out, and they teased this new Sith, he just looked so badass. I dug the saber. I dug everything about him. I dug the voice when the helmet was on. And then he just turned out to be a fucking pussy. I'm sorry. We're going to get into that in a minute.
Secretly, I think he loves Jar Jar Binks, though.
If you haven't seen the new film yet, I'm in love with Babu Frick.
Hey!
The droid fucking mechanic, Babu Frick. He's got a 2-minute part.
He's ugly cute. You know what I mean?
He is awesome. I love Babu Frick. Especially when he's in the X-Wing and he pops out. Fucking Babu's the man.
He's funny. It makes you chuckle when you see him.
So, just a quick rundown for people that ain't huge Star Wars savvies. Let's talk about the films if you ever want to watch them in chronological order. It's going to be episodes 1, 2, and 3.
This is the way I prefer to watch them too. I was actually just telling him the other day that I would like to binge watch all of these and do them in chronological order as opposed to release order, just because for me, my brain don't wrap around that stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, no, I got you. And you're going to have to set aside a whole fucking day to do it.
Longer than that.
Because it's a one long ass saga. But It's going to start off episodes 1, 2, and 3. This is going to be basically in that trilogy right there, you're gonna see Vader become, or you see Anakin become Vader.
You're right.
So it starts off with him as a little kid, and then eventually he turns to the dark side by the end of 3. And you do get to see the Clone Wars. You always hear them talking about the Clone Wars, even in the original 1977 New Hope. You hear Luke say, my father fought in the Clone Wars, and the Clone Wars. It's always brought up. And there is a Clone Wars CGI flick, or like a series, that was actually pretty good.
They fit in between these as well.
Yeah, and you could kind of piece those in there, but we're talking films. So after the third one, you're going to want to jump into Solo, which is the Han Solo movie. And this is where we get a young Han Solo. He meets Chewbacca for the first time. You find out about his original love interest. And we actually get a glimpse of Darth Maul back from the dead in this. He's running, I forgot the name of the little syndicate he's running. I think it's called Crimson Dawn. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we get a glimpse of him at the end of this film. So a lot of people don't know unless you read the books. Darth Maul, I thought out of all the films, the Darth Maul lightsaber battle between Qui-Gon, and then he kills Qui-Gon,
right,
and then goes after Obi-Wan, was the best lightsaber choreograph out of all the films. I thought that was done extremely well. Ewan McGregor, he trained for that. Ray Parks is the guy that played Darth Maul. Ray Parks is a stuntman. He knows bow staff, so it was just perfect to give him a double lightsaber. He did all his own. I think he did all his own choreographing in that. He wasn't done by a trainer. The only thing they did to Ray Parks was they didn't like his voice, so they overdubbed his voice just like they did with Vader. They put James Earl Jones's voice on the act. That wasn't James Earl Jones. That was.
I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was. I forgot the guy that played him.
New.
Tall white dude that played Vader.
He probably talked like this.
They you can actually YouTube him acting it out before they
dubbed him over.
Dubbed James Earl Jones over it. But yeah, James Earl Jones just did the voice.
Gotcha.
But same thing with Darth Maul. They didn't like Darth Maul's Ray Parks' voice, so they put another guy on it. You know, the real. He only has like 5 lines in the film. But it was enough to say, hey, you know what? Let's overdub his voice.
Yeah.
But Ray Parks is the fucking man. He kicks ass. Here's another thing, too, if you haven't seen him. He plays Toad in the first X-Men movie. And he also plays the Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp.
Okay.
So that's Ray Parks. And if you look at some of the moves he does with the weapons, the swords and shit, it's total Ray Parks. Yeah, I mean, the guy's fucking great. But when we get to the Solo film, and it's Solo, a Star Wars story, we get kind of like a little history on Han Solo, and we see Darth Maul come back from the dead. Well, if you read the books, read the comics, when Darth Maul got cut in half, and he fell down that shaft, we thought he was dead. He's done. He's cut in half. But when you get cut in half with a lightsaber...
It solders you.
Yeah, it basically cauterizes the room.
Yeah.
So... In some comic, cauterizes,
right.
yeah. The solders him.
It solders you.
Yeah, he's soldered.
Yeah, you know.
The
tomato.
In some comic books, they show him with mechanical legs, kind of like Vader. Vader's got mechanical legs because his legs got fucked up by Obi-Wan. And then in some other books, they actually show him with like a spider leg, like a mechanical spider. But he's alive and well, and he's running this syndicate at the end of Solo. I would love to see a tap off of that. After Solo, we jump into Rogue One. So Rogue One, I loved Rogue One. So if we're talking new Star Wars films, this is my favorite. It came out in 2016. And this is the whole story of these rebels that go to get...
This is the one that we went and saw on Christmas with your sister.
We pretty much saw all of them on Christmas.
The one that your sister bought us the tickets. Took us to the movies on Christmas.
Probably that one. Yeah, because she bought us tickets to the other one too, didn't she? No? But, yeah, this basically, it's the film about them getting the plans for the Death Star. And such a great idea for this film, because the only time we ever hear about them is I want to say it's Leia. She goes, hey, we got some plans from a few, like a few good people. They found a weakness to the Death Star, and basically they plan to take the X-Wings down there and shoot into this 2-meter hole to blow up the Death Star, and they basically gave up their lives to get these plans to the Rebel Alliance. That's all we know about them. And then boom, they did a whole film on how they went and got those plans, and of course they all died. We knew that going into it. But there's a scene in that movie where Vader comes out at the end of the film for like 5 minutes, and they did such a great job with that Vader scene. It just showed his fucking power, man. He just comes out and he's throwing lightsabers and force choking and force throwing people just for that little fucking 2-minute scene or whatever the hell it is. It is badass. They really showed the power of Vader in this little, 2-minute scene on Rogue One. After Rogue One, we jump into the original Star Wars series. We have New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. These are fucking classics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 1977 is when New Hope came out. 83 is when Jedi came out. And a lot of people dog on Jedi. I like Jedi. We got Jabba. We got Leia in the fucking bikini. We got Luke as a fucking Jedi. We got Boba Fett dies in the Sarlacc pit. We got the battle on Endor with the Ewoks. We got all this shit. I thought it was a good film. I love it. My favorite out of the all of them is Empire. I just love Empire. I love the battle on Hoth. All that good stuff. The only thing I don't like about Empire is if you watch any of these films, and probably a lot of people agree with me, I think Empire ends fucking horribly. Horribly. Empire is the one where Luke is confronted by Vader that it's his father. Mm-hmm. Luke, I'm your father, all this other shit. His hand gets chopped off. He loses Anakin's lightsaber, right? And we don't get that back until these last 3 films. And basically, he gets picked up by Leia and Lando. Because Han gets taken away in kryptonite. Or carbonite. Fucking Superman. And he's up on the ship, and he's getting his mechanical hand put on and all this other stuff, and he's talking to Leia and all this other crap. And he walks out to the window of the ship, and the next thing you know, and fucking the credits are rolling. And I'm like, man, that's how you end a fucking film? All this shit went down. All this critical Star Wars shit went down, and they just fucking end it with him looking out the fucking window. It just ends. Jedi starts, and it's like fucking 9 months later or some crap. I don't know how much time has passed. But there's a huge, huge gap between the end of Empire and the start of Jedi. Because he comes back as a fucking Jedi Knight. He's got the green lightsaber. He took time to build that. He's all in black. Leia's a bounty hunter trying to get Han out of the fucking carbonite. All this shit has gone down. There's an explanation to that. So if anybody that likes to read Star Wars books, you need to check out Shadows of the Empire. And I've talked to you about this numerous times. It's probably my favorite Star Wars book. This needs to be a fucking movie. If they're going to do these in-between fucking movies, like they did with Solo and Rogue One especially, because eventually we're going to get some other Solo films. We got Kenobi coming out. Obi-Wan Kenobi's getting his own. It was going to be a movie, and I guess now it's going right to Disney+.
Oh.
So I don't know if it's going to be a right to Disney+ movie, or if it's going to be a TV show like The Mandalorian. All right? Now, I haven't watched The Mandalorian yet. I wanted to wait till the season ended so I can binge it, because I don't like watching 30 minutes a week. I can't fucking do it. I can't. All right? I did that with The Walking Dead for 7 goddamn seasons. Watched it live when it aired, the whole 9 yards. I can't fucking do that no more. I need my fix. I need it all at once. And you're like that too.
Yeah, I like to binge
watch.
watch.
Let's put on 5, 6 episodes tonight. 5, 6, 7 episodes tomorrow. You're done with the season.
I used to do that with when True Blood was big and on HBO every Sunday. The anticipation between Sundays was.
Yeah. For 30 minutes? No, I can't.
I mean, I think True Blood was like 45 minutes or so, but
Yeah,
even
yeah,
still,
yeah.
45 minutes.
Yeah, no, I can't. I gotta binge it. So I still need to binge Mandalorian, and I don't know where the fuck that fits in here because we got Baby Yoda, also known as the Child. I have no idea where this fits in because I haven't seen it, so I have no idea. So then we come up to the new trilogy, the ones under Disney's umbrella, under J.J. Abrams and all that good stuff. A lot of fucking hate on them. I mean, it's a love-hate type thing. Me, personally, I like them.
I do too.
I like them. The Force Awakens, to me, was very exciting because it was the first time... I seen them all in the theater. Every single one. It was the first time I got to sit in the theater and see Princess Leia reprise her role. Han Solo come back. We got Chewie. We got, like, everybody came back. Luke came back. Even though at the end of Force Awakens, he's in it for 30 seconds. He turns around, takes his fucking hood off, fucking credits roll, right? The another Empire,
Question.
yeah.
How did you see Episode 4 in the theater?
They brought him back in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they brought him back in the 90s. I want to say maybe 98. They brought back the original trilogy, remastered.
Oh, okay.
With some CGI shit. They kind of butchered it. Saw all those in the theater, and then they released Episode 1.
Okay.
To kind of like hype it up.
I had to ask. I knew.
Yes, I wasn't born in 77. Not far off, but I wasn't born in 77. But yes, I saw them all in the theater. Then Last Jedi came out, and this is where they fucking bombed. I'm sorry, I did not like Last Jedi. There was a couple good scenes in it. We got Luke back and all this other crap, but we're not even going to talk about Last Jedi. We're going to throw it out the fucking window. Okay? Rise of Skywalker. Now here's all the spoilers. Rise of Skywalker comes out, and J.J. Abrams is back, and they fucking redeem themselves. I like this movie a lot.
We saw it twice.
Not my favorite, but I'd say if you enjoyed The Force Awakens, you're going to enjoy this. Because it's definitely a redemption from The Last Jedi. So to give out some spoilers, we learn that Rey is a Palpatine. So that's the big twist on it. Now, originally, I found this out too, that was not the original script.
What was the original?
The original script, she would have remained a nobody. And the name of the film was actually called Duel of Fates.
So if the original script had remained the same, the ending would have been different when she went to go confront Palpatine then.
Who knows how it would end it? Who knows? Nobody. We really don't know that. Yeah, but in the original script, it was called Duel of Fates. Okay? And not The Rise of Skywalker. And she was going to remain a nobody in it. And I guess this script leaked out, and I found this out from IGN. And IGN's very reputable with their sources, so that's why I believe it. It's just not hearsay. And the script got out, so they changed it, and they made her a Palpatine, which was great.
Granddaughter.
That was great because there was shit saying that she was gonna be Kylo's brother. You know what I mean?
Sister.
Sister. It'd be Ben's sister.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, throw that out the fucking window because we haven't gotten...
talk about saying, what if she was it Luke's, or no, someone's daughter?
It would make more sense to be Luke's daughter.
Yeah.
Because if she was Ben's sister, that means Han and Leia would be her dad. And what, they're just not going to fucking tell her? And we kept getting flashes.
That's true.
We kept getting flashes of her father and shit being taken away.
Leia's mentoring her and doesn't ever say that.
Here's something I didn't like about the films, though, and it's very Disney. There's a couple things I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that they made Kylo weak. Okay, now I get in the first one, in The Force Awakens, when he comes out, he's not a Sith yet. He's still an apprentice under Snoke, right? And, but yet, he gets in a head-on-head duel with Finn, who's never touched a fucking lightsaber in his life, right? They say that Finn is Force-sensitive. Bullshit. He's not Force-sensitive, okay? He might have, lean towards the light side, but he was a fucking stormtrooper from a kid. This is the only life he knows. He grows a conscience. he leaves the stormtroopers. That's why they call him Finn, because he doesn't know his name. He was FN, right? Was his stormtrooper call numbers. So he was like, okay, we're gonna call you Finn. And yeah, but he gets in a lightsaber battle and holds his own against Kylo. And then Rey, who is Force sensitive, right? And a Palpatine, she holds her own, right? Which makes more sense. But yet she's never had any training in her life. And she can go toe to toe with somebody who has, who's a fucking Knights of Ren. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that made me think that Kylo was a fucking dud. Let me see him come back and kick some ass in The Last Jedi, and I get disappointed as fuck. We lost Captain Phasma in The Last Jedi, and I really wanted to see that character do something fucking badass, but we lost her. We lost Han Solo. Ben kills his father. We lost Luke. Luke becomes a Force ghost. We lost Leia. She becomes a Force ghost. So we lost pretty much the original crew.
Right.
Rise of Skywalker comes in, and I'm waiting for this triumphant, badass Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan lightsaber battle between Kylo and Rey, and we never get it. We get a couple lightsabers. We get a little bit of a lightsaber battle, but nothing that holds a candle to that fucking Ray Parks thing. So I kept waiting for Kylo to come out and just be this badass, because his Force was fucking strong, man. He can reach into visions and pull shit out, like the necklace. He was able to fucking, man, his Force throw was like with ease, you know, like it seemed more powerful than Vader. He had the shit lightsaber though. And a little thing too, in case you didn't know, you ever wonder why Kylo Ren's lightsaber crackles when everybody else has a real clean beam? It's because the crystal that makes the saber
has a crack in it.
Has a crack in it.
Yeah.
And that's something you got to learn in the books and all that shit. But yeah, Rise of Skywalker actually was a great redemption from The Last Jedi. And they basically said this is going to close that saga. Another thing too I want to mention too before I forget about it is for some reason there was a lot of hint on Poe. I don't know if you noticed that. Poe Dameron?
Mm-hmm.
They kept basically, they tried to give him a little bit of a backstory on where he came from, which was a little bit too late to bring that into the story. We've had him for 3 films, and now we're just finding out his backstory. And then they kind of hint towards a love interest in this film with the, I forgot her name, but the chick with the mask.
Oh, right, yeah.
That he has some type of old school connection with back when he was a spice runner and all this other shit. And I'm like, where are they going to go with Poe? Is Poe going to get a spin-off? Are they going to show something with Poe? I thought it was too much, too late. You know what I mean? Like, why give all this backstory and hint at a love interest when you're going to end this saga?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if they did it in the first one and then they evolved it, I mean, not the first one, but, you know, The Force Awakens, and they evolved it, and this one makes total sense, right? Let's learn more about Poe. But to do it in these hints on this last film and then end this saga confused me. So I'm wondering if Poe's getting a spin-off. So they have came out and said, like, hey, this is closing the saga. So these 9 films plus the 2, so we basically 11 films.
Yeah.
The 9 films plus the 2 basically are closing this chapter in it, right? And whatever we get now is going to start a whole new saga. I don't know if we're going to start with episodes again and do like episode 1 of a new Star Wars trilogy, or I don't know what they're doing, or if they're going to tap and do some more in-between stories. If they do an in-between story, I want to see Shadows of the Empire. Something to kind of fill that gap after Empire, but before Jedi. That's going to be tough to do because we lost Leia in real life. We lost Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford doesn't want to do these pictures anymore. It was pulling teeth to get Harrison Ford to do Force Awakens. He's not a big fan of playing the character. They got him back to do like a memory scene in Rise of Skywalker for what? 2 minutes?
Yeah.
He was in it. You know, enough just to be like, hey, there's Han Solo, give Ben a pep talk, and he's out of the film. So, Yeah, I don't know how they would do it, and I don't want to see them do CGI. Maybe they could get some other actors to do it, but I would love to see that. But what I think Disney's gonna do is go on a new saga with these new characters. Learn about Poe and his love interest.
Right.
We got Finn, we got Rey, who's just now becoming a Jedi. We see at the end of the film she built her own lightsaber. She took her mother's Leia's lightsaber. Luke's late.
Her mother?
Yeah, that's her mother. Oh no, it's not.
Said
It's not. You're right. I'm fucking myself up. Takes Leia's lightsaber and Luke's lightsaber, and she ends up burying it back at Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's place, which I thought was cool. I was like, cool, man. She went back to Tatooine, found out where Luke grew up, and then she buries those in the sand. So I don't think those will come back into play anytime soon, because they emphasized the look of her lightsaber. She had that little slide block, which I thought was badass. That was different, because it's usually a button like this or a press button, and she had that little side lock. Boom, she's using the yellow lightsaber. Kick ass, man. She's going to be a Jedi, or she is a Jedi. So she's pretty strong with the Force and all that stuff. But we lost Kylo. So Kylo, at the end of the film, he becomes good. Basically drops the name Kylo, goes back to Ben.
Yeah.
Helps save her. He puts his Force life into her to kind of bring her back, and then he turns to a Force ghost. So we lost them all. We lost Luke, Leia, Ben, Han Solo's gone. Chewie finally got his medal. Holy shit! I don't know. Some people didn't catch that, but Chewie finally got his medal. I thought that was a sweet shot. That was a nice redemption right there. It's like, oh, fucking A, about time. Been in fucking all the fucking films. He finally got his medal. But yeah, that's it. I just want to kind of talk about the Star Wars thing. Anything you?
No, you covered it all.
We're just bullshitting about it. Just want to talk about it, see what you guys thought of the film. We've been back. I'm going back probably about 6 years. I want to say 5 years. I used to play a game with my buddy Wally, Battlefront. He got it when it first came out. I played it a little bit by his house, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. Battlefront 2 came out. I wasn't playing it. We just picked up Battlefront 2. There's an update on it. Shout out to Flying Muscle 76 and Exiled Gamer, man, for getting on this game with me and fucking having a blast playing that.
It's a lot of fun. It's hard. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you like Call of Duty, but with Star Wars, check out Battlefront 2. It's been updated highly. There's all the new characters are in it. I think there's another update coming. It's still going strong today, even though the game... I'm not talking the first one, I'm talking the second one. Even though the game is a few years old, it's still going strong, man. You jump into arenas just like that. Yeah. And having a blast playing that with those guys. And so, yeah, if you want to hop on and you're on the Xbox, look me up. Get Your Goat 5150 and Crystal Rain and
12 Crystal Rain 12.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And we'll fuck up some rebel scum. We fucking gotta fuck up the rebel scum. We always play as the bad guys.
I like playing as the good guys, but they never want to.
I know, because you want to play as Rey.
I want to play as Rey.
I know, she wants to play as Rey. And that's the funny thing too is playing as Kylo is pretty badass and Vader and all that shit, but I prefer to be a stormtrooper.
I like playing with the lightsaber more than I do a gun, so I'm always trying to build those points so you can play as them. Yeah, and
I like playing as Phasma. Yeah. Just because she's got the scope and all that shit.
I did play as Phasma, I think, last night.
It's a great game, man. Check it out. Yeah. Battlefront 2 for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And, so let me know in the comments, man, what you guys thought of this whole saga. And what you guys might think. I've talked to some friends at work, and they've had some ideas of maybe them doing a Knights of the Old Republic movie. That would be sick as shit. I want to see Shadows of the Empire, even though we probably won't. But if you guys got some inside Star Wars knowledge, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it.
I have something to add.
Yeah.
So in the last one, Finn is always trying to tell Rey something the whole entire time. Gosh darn it, I just had it up here and I hit the wrong button. So when I asked what they were trying to say, I was told that Finn had been trying to tell Rey that he loved her, right? So according to Abrams, that's not what he was trying to say.
I didn't think so either. I think he was trying to tell her about Palpatine.
Nope.
Was it what?
So it says here, confirmed that Finn wanted to tell Rey that he was Force sensitive. Abrams apparently revealed Finn's Force sensitivity after a Q&A when fans were asking him those questions.
Oh, okay, so they did. Okay, they did do that. See, I always
Yep.
thought it was bullshit, and he just maybe because the whole thing, and I'm sorry that this is going longer than normal, but the whole thing with this earlier films was midichlorians, and they talk about how Anakin had a higher midichlorian count than Yoda, and all that shit. Well, they kind of threw that out the fucking window. The midichlorians. Now anybody can be Force sensitive, but that makes sense too because Yoda said that the Force is all around us.
Yeah.
It's in the rock. It's in this. It's in here. So if you could find a way to tap into that, you can use it. So yeah, Abrams is going more towards that. So it doesn't shock me
That's what he was trying to say.
I thought he was going to tell because he says, Finn says in the film that he's been talking to Leia. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe Leia told him, hey,
Yeah.
she's a Palpatine. Not that he loved her because, like, I think he does in a sense, but at the same time, he kind of showed a little bit of a love interest to that one girl on that planet. I forgot her name.
Yes. Yeah.
The black girl with the wild hair.
Yep.
He had a little hint towards that, a little hint towards somebody else. I don't know. I don't fucking know. The love interest in the Star Wars fucking realm is crazy. But we're going to cut it there. I know this ran longer than normal, but it's Star Wars and we could go on forever.
Really, we could.
So hit me up in the comments. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I always put those links in the description of the video, along with her handles as well. And until next week, we will catch you then. Peace and hair grease.
See ya.